Time for an absolute ranting, precious. Boom. Whoa, whoa, jeez. Yeah, I underestimate how useful a ring that makes you invisible can be. It's the invisibility cloak of Middle-earth. Hey guys, Ari Thomas here, and welcome, uh, Middle-earth and Tolkien's to my updated ranking of the Middle-earth movies, including the animated and live-action Peter Jackson ones from 1977 to 2024, including the newly released War of the Rohirrim. And Middle-earth, I can see why for lots of people is the go-to fantasy realm, even if personally the wizarding world is closer to my heart, as I just feel there's more to it and it's more magical. And J.K. Rowling for me is the single greatest storyteller and author and world builder who has ever lived. She sorry, Tolkienists, but I find her writing just a little more detailed and in depth than Tolkien's. But still, yeah, the Middle Earth saga does have some of the greatest movies of all time, and it does have its duds too. But so let's take a looky which how my thoughts have changed on the Middle Earth movies since my previous ranking in 2017. If you want to see, then just keep watching. At number 11, at the very bottom, Ralph Bakshi's The Lord of the Rings 1978. Oh, I mean, uh, to each their own if you are in the camper that likes Bashki's vision, but this was totally an adaptation that needed a script rewrite. The experimental rotoscoping animation looks completely off and has not aged well today whatsoever. Some of the character designs look darn right absurd, from Aragorn in his short skirt, and Sam was the character they raped more than any other. Oh my! Oh hooray! Why would you only adaptate the Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers, but not include Return of the King? So, like Lego The Hobbit, this is a story that feels unfinished without Return of the King. There's no proper ending to it. Oh, speaking of which, that brings us to number 10, the Return of the King 1980, the bad version of Return of the King. Yep, this was a laughable attempt for Rankin Bass to give proper closure to the animated 70s and 80s Middle-earth saga. Like, it's not nearly epic enough, and they they just they don't even show Shelob's lair. They just say it through exhibition. It completely forgets the show don't tell rule of filmmaking. And if you had a penny for the number of times a freaking unnecessary song pops up in this that just kills the drama, you would be a millionaire. The cheese in this version of Return of the King is over the top, like Eowyn facing down the Witch King. I am Eowyn of Rohan. What, a woman in the army? Oh, just stop telling us what's happening, movie. Show us for a change. When Gollum bites off Frodo's finger, they just play a song. Frodo has 9 fingers. I'm like, really? This doesn't need to be a damn musical. Oh, and Legolas and Gimli are completely neglected and absent, and they totally spoil that everybody's gonna survive in the very beginning of the film by opening after the ring is destroyed and with old Bilbo. Why? At number 9, Tolkien, the 2019 biopic of JRR Tolkien's life. And I know there are those who don't count this as a Middle-earth movie, as it is the one not to take place in Middle-earth. But I personally do count it as, if it's related to Tolkien, it's a Middle-earth movie, and I would love a J.K. Rowling biopic after this someday. She would love that. And Tolkien 2019, believe all the mediocre things you've heard about this one. It is so eh. I mean, certainly wasted potential. Nicholas Hoult and Lily Collins and Derek Jacobi are all good in it, but the film could have well been more ambitious, and the war scenes are surprisingly tame in comparison to other war epics. I got bored with this movie after some time. At number 8, the Hobbit 1977, and this is a rather decent adaptation of The Hobbit, coming 35 years before Peter Jackson's vision. This one is the way shorter version and only needed one movie to tell it. But I but the animation is easily the best of the 70s and 80s Middle Earth movies, and it has no uh, cringe songs like the 80s Return of the King, where there's a whip, there's a way. Instead, it has jolly, catchy songs like The Greatest Adventure, the movie's signature song by Glenn Yarmouth, and of course, the barrel song Rolling Down the Hole. Oh, that one is a banger. And can you imagine if they played that in the barrel scene in Desolation of Smaug? Oh, even if, yeah, some of the character designs, don't look that appealing, and even if the Battle of the Five Armies part is way too rushed, it mostly tells the Hobbit story well, and it's not a bad effort. It's at number 7. Oh boy, are people gonna be gobsmacked by this decision, but the Two Towers. The more I think about it, the more my thoughts on this one are just go down and down. To me, this is now the most overrated in the Middle Earth franchise. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still a cinematic epic and a beautifully made and crafted movie. The Battle of Helm's Deep is a real spectacle, and the build up to it is expertly executed and paced. And yeah, I do love Eowyn and the culture of Rohan. I just wish the female characters in this movie did a lot more ass kicking, because uh, because they uh, really get sidelined. Gandalf does make a badass return as Gandalf the White, and the Gollum scenes. This was the first time we saw Andy Serkis's Gollum are terrific, even if they don't quite compare to the ones in Return of the King. But the Ents drag this movie down for me pacing wise. Every scene in Fangorn Forest with Merry and Pippin and the Ents just it just bores me to tears. Like, you feel Merry and Pippin's frustration with the Ents taking forever to come to a decision. Also, the end credit Gollum song, it is satisfactory, but it may be the weakest one of the three. At number 6, the most recent Middle-earth adventure, The War of the Rohirrim, and yes, shocking. I ranked it above the Two Towers. Sue me. I kind of feel this did the Rohan story in Middle-earth a little better than the Two Towers. At least there's no boring Ents this time, thank God. At least it's way better paced and shorter. And Hera, she is a real warrior does uh, uh, who does prove to be the inspirational role model for Eowyn nearly 200 years before her, and done in anime makes for such a different experience. It's like watching, the last Middle Earth version of The Last Airbender. Though Wolf, I think we can all agree is a sissy villain. Yeah, he is he's a pathetic man child. At number five, the Battle of the Five Armies, the most underrated Middle Earth movie and most underrated movie of 2014, and Peter Jackson's most underrated movie. I mean, yeah, my rating has now risen from 3.5 stars to 4 stars with this one now. And why I take it over the Two Towers, you may ask, because it's it's faster to get through. It's more exhilarating, and I I cared more like Foreign's descent into madness and how he nearly kills Bilbo nearly throwing him off the ramparts, and Richard Armitage made him legit terrifying. He doesn't get enough credit for his portrayal of Foreign, and Foreign's death, one of the most emotionally powerful scenes in all of Middle Earth, and the the titular battle itself. It may be CGI heavy, but who cares? The Lord of the Rings battles were also CGI heavy, but nobody uh, applied that criticism to that trilogy. So it's unfair people bash the Hobbits for that, and the battle itself was a real spectacle, one of the biggest things Peter Jackson has ever done. And the opening with Smaug burning down Lake Town is, one of the most epic Middle Earth openings, uh, and plus the last goodbye end credit song by Billy Boyd. I mean, yeah, if that doesn't feel like the end of an era, I don't know what will. I mean, yes, it's not without its flaws. Yes, Alfred could have been in it less, and Beorn could have been in it more. Yes, Turiel should have killed Bolg instead of Legolas. Yeah, Shane Turiel, was bad at fighting in this one after she was one of the standouts of Desolation of Smaug. But still, Battle of the Five Armies, I think, is a vastly underrated finale. At number four, The Fellowship of the Ring, and I mean, between the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the majority go uh, have a hard time picking either this or Return of the King. Though Elijah Wood himself said Fellowship of the Ring is his favorite, and I can see why. I mean, yeah, that this is a real fantasy landmark, and uh, it made Peter Jackson a household name, and I mean, with its perfect cast looking exactly like they had come from Tolkien's book, and its outstanding artistry to the changes from the book that I think worked better for the story, like Arwen being the one to rescue Frodo and beat the ring wraiths. Mines of Moria scenes uh, uh, just outstanding, especially the "You Shall Not Pass" showdown with the Balrog of Morgoth, and that end credit song, "May It Be," just well, uh, uh, astonishingly beautiful. Though Monsters Inc.'s "If I Didn't Have You" still deserved the Academy Award for Best Original Song that year. Yes, this one may be hectic for some people, but it's still got more uh, energy to it than in comparison to the Two Towers. At number three, The Desolation of Smaug, the true fan favourite of the Hobbit trilogy, and I don't blame you if this is your favourite Hobbit movie. Like most, I know Pajak's Perspective, my good friend, favours this as his favourite Hobbit film, as it has, Smaug the dragon, it has the barrel scene, it has some of the most iconic moments from the book and the movies, and I mean, yeah, even if Ed Sheeran's "I See Fire" may be my least favorite end credit song of the three, I still very much enjoy it because you can't go wrong with Ed Sheeran. And Bilbo is even more courageous and badass. He's saving the dwarves' arse in literally every scene. The dwarf company wouldn't have had a hope of getting to the mountain without him, and you even I like that they showed Gandalf's storyline in Dol Guldur because it fixed well the plot hole with the book. And Turiel, moi, uh, she may not have been in the book, but she turned out to be one of the best Hobbit characters. Period. And yeah, and Evangeline Lilly, she made Turiel an absolute kick-ass queen, and yeah, I think yeah, Desolation of Smaug may not quite have the charm or heart of an unexpected journey to me, but it boy did it come close as a middle chapter in a trilogy. At number two, this is well a movie that I would rank far higher than the majority, but an unexpected journey, the first and my favorite of the Hobbit trilogy. I mean, what a wonderful movie. I still fucking love it. I don't care what the naysayers say. This was the one that felt the closest to the spirit of the Hobbit book and has the least CGI of the Hobbit trilogy. And to me, it's it's the it's the most charming and most fun of the Middle Earth movies, and one of the most emotional. Yeah, I did tear up twice in this movie, from uh, like in especially towards the end when the movie got brilliant. And even the party in Bag End I don't think drags at all. Haven't I have a baller with the dwarves are just burping and wrecking Back End. And Martin Freeman is the definitive irreplaceable Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo is better than Frodo in every conceivable way. And yeah, and also it's great to have Gandalf the Grey back, as he is the better of the two Gandalfs. And the Gollum riddles in the dark scene, best scene in the entire Hobbit trilogy, no competition. And even I like that they don't fully reveal Smaug in this one, and they saved his reveal for the second film. And but Azog is a worthy uh, antagonist and threat for this film. He may be the best Middle Earth orc antagonist in general. I mean, just look at his badass design. And the Song of the Lonely Mountain end credit song by Neil Finn, just well, uh, uh, astonishingly catchy. And Hal Woodshaw's score is the most memorable of the Hobbit trilogy, with the theme da 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 da, and the Misty Mountains Cold song. But this would be my number one Middle Earth movie if not for the King of Middle Earth, and you all know it's coming. My number one favorite Middle Earth movie is one of the most epic and greatest movies ever made. Period. The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. This is the supreme king of all uh, Tolkien and Middle Earth movies, and it buries the others with its sheer epicness and majesty. And this is one of the biggest Oscar sweepers in movie history. It's like Titanic and Ben-Hur. It gained 11 Academy Awards. Uh, it was unstoppable at the time. And the I mean the just Sam being the real savior of Middle Earth. Sorry, Frodo, but you didn't do shit. And the Battle of Minas Tirith / Pelennor Fields being one of the biggest things you will ever see on film. To the to Shelob's lair being finally shown on film and not told. And it's it couldn't have been more satisfying. And every single character just gets their moment to finally shine, especially Eowyn, who is done a great deal better here than she was in the Two Towers, with when she kills the Witch King. I am no man. That's my favorite moment in the entire movie, and I'm sure every single female audience member that saw that in December 2003 were just screaming, "Go Eowyn!" And the end credits song "Into the West," it is I absolutely love. It is like Peter Jackson temporarily closed a book on his labor of love and passion projects that he had worked on for 8 years now. Uh, so yeah, I'm proud to call Return of the King the best Middle Earth movie. So that was my updated Middle Earth ranking, and I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this ranking. And what's your ranking of the Middle Earth movies? Whether you include the animated ones or just the Peter Jackson ones, please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram, and I'll see you all next time. Oh man, we all know what's coming this week. Ah, movies have never sunken lower. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.